Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about a quick guide, a basic guide for a lot of players that are like casual players. And I'm aware freelance is not this week, but this is something that you can utilize as a casual player or somebody that just want to play freelance without having to running into any fire team. So, if you're a new player or a returning player and you like playing solo and you don't really do well with fire teams, things like that, there's ways where you can go into the freelance playlist and actually get a flawless. There's several ways you can do it. So I'm just going to mention a couple of tips, tricks that I use and guides how the way I go about getting my flawlesses out of basically the freelance playlist. So for the new people, so there's several of ways you can get it, but this is going to be one of the ways that I go about doing it. So if you're new and you haven't been flawless at all for the season, let's say you have not touched the lighthouse at all, so you have the passage of ferocity and you'll have the passage of mercy. So you can use the passage of ferocity if you want to, but I would say the best one to grab is the passage of mercy. This allows you to play trials, and if you lose one time, if it gives the loss. So that way you can literally keep playing on the same card until you get your flawless, or until you get a loss on the card, and then it'll be a flawed card. Alright, so this is the passage of wealth, and this is the passage of confidence. These two usually are not unlocked until you've been flawless of the season. The main two is usually unlocked as either ferocity or mercy. Alright, so one trick that I like to use, especially when I go into trials. So let's say we're about to load into a trials game. So we're going to only look at, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, we're going to look at 5 people. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, let's say I'm going into trials right now with these people. So what you always want to do, alright, so those people left. But what you always want to do is take a look and see exactly what everybody's using. This allows you to adapt, to adjust to what people are using. You don't have to change your loadout. This method is not for you to change your loadout, because majority of players, when they go into trials or any kind of PvP activity, you usually have like 1 or 2 different weapons that they have plans on switching in and out. So let's say your enemy is using a malfeasance and a gnawing hunger. And a gnawing hunger, as you can see, doesn't have much range on it. But you look at the exotic, and you see that they're going to be shoulder charging. So you already know, alright, I got to play slight distance with them. At the same time, they don't have special weapons. So if I have a shotgun or a fusion, I can outplay them. The next person, Pika Love 13. So you take a look. So alright, they have an Awe-Stringer, and they have a Callous mini tool. So they don't have any long range weapons at all. Actually, the hand cannon can be considered, but they don't have any special weapon where they can counter you if you use a special weapon on them, unless they hit all the shots or are really good with their kinetics. Because there is people that really would play really well when it comes down to kinetics. Then let's say if you're using a sniper, you probably can outplay them with the sniper, or you're using a fusion rifle, you can outplay them with a fusion rifle, because they have no counters to it other than maybe the hand cannon if they have a decent roll on it, which this person does. And then you go up to Mothman. You take a look. So Mothman is using a Crimson, using this Glaive Libre's Ruin, if I'm saying it right. And you basically look, no exotics. Let's take a look at Pika Love. Peacekeepers. So this allows you to see exactly what you're getting yourself into before you go in. And not only that though, this allows you to possibly see your allies' loadouts and your loadouts at the same time. So like you get to see your allies and your enemies' loadout at the same time. This gives you an idea exactly what everybody's running in the lobby. You know what's going on. Who's running what? Who's doing this? Who's doing that? You get the idea of it. Another thing is, alright, you always, which I'm probably going to just jump right into a match real quick. I'm going to jump into a quick elims match, because I just want to show you something. Or actually I can show you in a private match. Let's go over in the private match real quick here. So we're just going to set this up real quick. So we're just going to go to eliminations, and we're going to put it on a small map real quick. Alright, so it's eliminations, exactly how the way trials is set up and everything like that. Alright. Oh, so we don't have enough people. So we're just gonna put it on Rumble. Where's Rumble at? Go here, put Rumble. Now I can launch it. This is something that I always do when I go into basically freelance and in regular trials too. I do this exact same thing. I take a look at what's going on, what everybody's running, because that gives me an idea, general idea, what my enemies is running or my potential allies are running. Because in freelance, you don't know who's going to be on your team until you get to the menu where they're showing the enemy team, their weapons, and their loadout. So this gives you a quick idea of what's going on, who's using what, and how's everything going. What you also can do is Destiny Tracker, which will take a little longer because you have to pull out your phone and then find a person's stats and see if they've been flawless or if they're on a win streak. This is not to make you look for a win streak. This is to give you an idea, a general idea, possibly what you're going to be playing against. This give you an idea. So let's say I see my enemies are going to be running possible a sniper and a hand cannon. Alright, I have that covered with a sniper and an SMG. Usually an SMG can outgun hand cannons, but the only thing is you have to make sure you hit majority of shots because all they need to do is hit 3 precision hits, and that's it. So, let's say you have an ally standing here, and you have an ally down here. What you want to do at all times is keep an eye on your allies. So you know, let's say ally number 1 that's standing here, and ally number 2 is standing next to the 2 sign. So ally 2 is down here, looking in the lane, alright? And I'm just going to play the scenario out real quick here. Alright, so we have enemy number 1 right here. He's trying to snipe into the lane. You have enemy number 2 just over here sitting on the head glitch. And then we have enemy number 3 just trying to cover this side, trying to snipe across. So now you know your enemies basically are all either running a sniper, a shotgun, or a hand cannon variation, or maybe an SMG sniper or a grenade launcher SMG. So, or pulse rifles, because the pulse rifles are like basically meta right now. So your ally standing here, ally 1, ally 2, enemy 1, enemy 2, enemy 3. So what you want to do is, let's say ally 1 starts engaging with enemy 3 over here in this corner. So they start peeking in and trying to get shots in on them. Alright. Now, ally number 1 happens to get knocked low on low health, get shot by a sniper, low health. What you can do is what I'm running right now, Healing Aid. This allows your ally to get a little bit of restoration, allows them to keep going. If you're not running solar, let's say ally is just taking damage, slide in, drop a barricade to block them. If you're running a Void Titan, you put an overshield on your ally. Right? So if you're not running that, if you're not running a Titan, Warlock, drop a Healing Rift. If you're not running that, Hunter, you can literally throw a smoke nade to make your ally invisible. And if you're running Omni Oculus, you basically give them resistance while they're invisible. So there's several ways you can play. So let's say ally number 1 is low and gets killed. Alright, now you have ally, it's just you and ally 2. What you want to do is, as your ally is moving, you want to be able to cover your ally as they move. This is regardless of what's going on. So if you're in freelance and none of you have communications, what you want to do is always keep an eye on your allies. Because the reason why is your teammates usually will see something that you don't see. So if your teammates see, hey, I knocked somebody really low in health, maybe we should push this guy. Or maybe we should try to get an angle to snipe the enemy. Snipe enemy number 2. Now enemy number 2 is low in health, enemy number 2 is looking through this doorway, and ally number 2 knocked them low. What you also want to look out for, if you're using a sniper, don't always stay looking down your sight. Quickly look down your sight, come out of your sight, take a look to check your back. The reason why is because they're already down to one of your allies. Ally number 1 is downed over there. You didn't get a chance to get their res because you got one enemy over here. The potential enemy that was standing here moved. And this is for if they're, let's say they're in a fire team together, alright? So, enemy number 2 decides to come over here and group with enemy number 3. So now they're watching this res and they're trying to get a pick on you. They know you're somewhere over here. They don't know exact angle on you, but they're communicating with enemy number 1, which is standing in the doorway. Maybe hiding behind a barricade. This basically, they're communicating. And this basically gives you somewhat an idea, a broad idea. Alright, so we have one guy right here. There's a possible chance there's a guy sitting on the catwalk across. Or maybe sitting right here. Or could be trying to sneak up behind to throw a grenade in to do a little bit of damage. So that way enemy number 1 can lay in some fire and throw you off for your game. If that makes sense. What you want to do is basically keep an eye on your allies. And this is very simple. All you have to do, it doesn't matter what weapon you use. You can use Cerberus, you can use Jolton, you can use any weapon you want to use. Because every weapon in Destiny can be potent. If you know how to land your shots in and you know how to pick somebody off, you will literally make havoc for your enemy. The whole goal of this video is basically giving a broad idea. Exactly, if you're new and you don't have communications, or you're in the freelance playlist and you want to enjoy freelance but you don't know how to get the fundamentals down, the one thing you always want to do is keep an eye out on your teammates. Play off your teammates. Regardless of if they are talking to you or not, yes, you will have the one teammate that is just doing something random like, hey guys, I have a shotgun. There's 2 guys over there. I'm going to run in and try to shotgun or shoulder charge. Let them, because those teammates, yeah, they're doing something reckless, but sometimes those teammates, when they do something reckless, running at an enemy trying to shotgun them, they open the enemy up for a snipe kill or maybe a primary kill from a distance. It opens them up for kills. You can throw a grenade in there. Now the enemy number 1 is low because enemy number 1 stepped out to kill your ally that rushed him. Another thing is, you can see it on the top left corner for any newer players or casuals. The top corner, you always want to watch that radar. And if you're a driver, this will be so simple to you. Alright, if you're old enough to drive, this will be so simple. When you ride down the highway or any kind of road, you always watch your mirrors. You watch your left mirror, you watch your rear view mirror, you watch your right mirror. It's the same thing with the radar. It's a quick second. You don't have to stand there and watch your radar. Like right now, I'm literally briefly looking at my radar. I'm looking exactly where possibly enemies could be, but at the same time, I'm watching where I'm going. This helps you know exactly if there's an enemy close by. This keeps you it gives you a good idea exactly where your enemy is at. Another thing is, so there's several times where you will run like on a platform. Let's say you're up here. You'll have an enemy down here. The enemy, if they're below you, the radar will blink. It'll have like a little blink on it. The enemy will be on the radar, but it'll be a slight blink, meaning they're below you or above you. It won't be the same, it won't be like a bright red. It'll be like a darker red, but it'll have like a flash to it. So you'll know possibly the person is right below you or they're above you. Alright, another thing is, when it comes down to using your super abilities or your grenades, always, alright, this is not something me telling you, hey, this is how you play. This is like giving you a tip and a guide. So, always try to get your nade in an angle where it makes it most inconvenient or convenient for yourself. What I mean by this is, let's say you're fighting enemy number 1 right here, alright? You and the allies fighting them. Enemy number 1 literally just knocked your shields down and made you weak. You have a grenade. Let's say you don't have a healing nade, you have a thermite nade, alright? What you want to do is, if you're running thermites or you're on a Titan, what you could do, pop a barricade. Alright? The barricade literally makes it hard for if the enemy decides to come running at you with a shotgun, fusion rifle, or anything. Now they have to get through your barricade. Your barricade is basically the invisible wall that's stopping them from pushing you. On a Warlock, Healing Rift. What you want to do though is try to get out of an angle where the enemy can slide up on you and shoot you. So let's say you get knocked low and I'm on my Warlock, right? And I get shot and my health is low and the enemy's still shooting at me. You can just slide back into a corner, drop your Healing Rift. If you have the healing nades, You can just chuck a healing nade at the wall. It'll give you restoration rate to you and your allies are standing next to you. Grenade wise, let's say you're on void and you have suppression nades. You can always bounce them. So let's say you're shooting at somebody and end up knocking your health low. All you do is you can throw it down to the ground as they rush you. If they're rushing you, now that suppresses your enemies from using their ability. So if there's a hunter running at you trying to shade step to get close to you, they don't have it. They don't have the dodge or roll to run at you. If there's a warlock trying to blink towards you, their blink is gone. If there's a titan that's trying to shoulder charge towards you, their shoulder charge is gone. This gives you an advantage to allow your ally, not your ally, but your enemies not to be able to use their abilities, because abilities is also a part of gunplay. Gunplay allows you to do a lot of things right along with your abilities. You want to synchronize your abilities based off what's going on the map. You want to have some kind of map awareness of angles where people will be standing at, how your ally play. If the allies are rusher, you will know it right off the bat because you will see your ally just running. Your teammate will be running straight at the enemy team. You can play off those people that are running gun. Those are running gun players. You can play off them. If, let's say, your teammate lacks gun skill, or any kind of they're not very aggressive when they play. They're more passive and they sit towards the back of the map. You can also play off that too. If you know your teammate is not a heavy pusher, and you will notice it after the first round, because the whole point of it is have observation off the first round. You adjust off the first round to make it harder for your enemies to get a kill on you. And it's very simple. If you run through a doorway and you already know they're going to snipe in that doorway, don't run to that doorway. Try to get another angle on them where you know they're going to be sniping in that angle. Don't even go into that angle. Go into another opening area, because every map has some kind of opening area where you can run around and try to get a sneak kill. So I just hope this was somewhat informative. This is based off how the way I play it in freelance. Also, time and hours of me playing in freelance. I enjoy freelance. That's my favorite mode to play when the trials come back. Occasionally, I do indulge in playing in regular trials, and I play against 3 stacks. And sometimes I have trouble, sometimes I win. But my main play style is I play off my teammates. So I'm not the what's the word? I'm not the main supporter of the fire team. And even when I play with a fire team, I'm more of a go after the kill. But at the same time, I know when to fall back. I know when to push. I know when to play an angle. I know when not to play an angle. That is something that every player should know. If you know somebody's going to be sniping in an area, or you know this person has a Jotun, and Jotun tracks, don't run into the angle. If they have Telesto, you see pop rocks on the ground, which I like to call them, don't run into it. This gives you a broad idea. Hey, alright, I got to watch my teammate. My teammate is over here, teammate over here, enemy is over there. We're going to basically not push, but I'm going to see what my teammates do to allow me to try to get a kill on the enemy. So I hope this was informative. You guys have yourselves an awesome night, and good luck this weekend going flawless. This weekend is the Burden of Guilt Adept weapon, and I want that fusion rifle, so I'm going to be trying to play some games and try to get that fusion rifle. Like always, guys, you have yourself an awesome night. Catch you guys later.